You know that feeling when you finally get a chance to relax, but instead of relief, you just feel guilty? Yeah, that's what we're digging into today. It's called the productivity trap, and it's something a lot of us get caught in.
So let's just ask it outright. Why does doing nothing feel so fundamentally wrong? I mean, think about it. You've worked hard all week, you finally sit down, and bam, this wave of anxiety just washes over you. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Let's unpack why the simple act of being still can feel like such a struggle.
Okay, so first up, we're diving into this idea of the unrest of rest. It's kind of the perfect name for it, right? This is all about that deep, modern anxiety that just seems to bubble up the very moment we try to stop and find a little stillness. And it's such a familiar feeling, isn't it? The weekend finally rolls around and you're supposed to feel relieved. But instead, there's this little voice in your head. It's nagging you, saying you should be doing something productive, get ahead on work, clean the house, learn a new skill. All of a sudden, your downtime, which is supposed to recharge you, just becomes another source of stress.
Wow. I mean, this quote really hits hard, doesn't it? It just perfectly captures how deep this whole thing goes. It's not just about being bored. It's this gut feeling that your actual worth is on the line. The idea that if you're resting, you're somehow failing, that you're becoming unworthy. So where on earth does a feeling that powerful even come from?
Well, to really get to the bottom of this, we actually have to go way back, all the way back to childhood. We're going to look at this fascinating psychological concept called the useful love theory, which suggests that the seeds for this feeling were planted a long, long time ago.
So what exactly is useful love? At its core, you can think of it as conditional affection. It's what happens when a child learns, often in very subtle ways, that they get praise and positive attention when they're being useful. You know, when they're helping with chores, getting good grades, being the good helper. The message they start to internalize is that their value isn't just a given. It's something they have to earn through what they do.
And this kind of conditioning often creates what's known as the easy child. This is the kid who figures out the rules of the game really fast. They learn that to get that love and approval, they need to be low maintenance, helpful, and productive. They get praised for doing, not just for being.
So what happens when that easy child grows up? Well, as we're about to see, those childhood lessons don't just magically disappear. They harden into these core beliefs that create an adult who's completely caught in the trap.
And you can literally draw a straight line from one to the other. The child who learns my value is in my utility becomes the adult who believes my self-worth is tied to my productivity. That childhood lesson, I am good when I'm helpful, morphs into the adult's nagging fear that time not spent working is time wasted. The external validation they were chasing as a kid becomes this relentless internal pressure they can never seem to escape.
This creates this absolutely relentless inner monologue. You know? It's a constant loop of self-criticism playing in your head. It tells you that rest is a sign of weakness, that you must constantly prove your worth through more and more achievements. And that awful, unworthy feeling we talked about, it comes rushing right back in the moment the to-do list is empty, because that list has basically become the primary measure of your value.
And this dynamic locks us into a nasty, self-perpetuating cycle of guilt. It's like a hamster wheel. Step 1, you try to rest. Step 2, that immediately triggers anxiety about not being productive. Step 3, your brain then concludes, see, I don't even deserve this rest. And what's the quickest way to quiet that guilt? Step 4, go back to work. The very thing you need, rest, becomes the trigger that sends you running right back to the problem. So, is there a way out of this? How do we actually escape the trap? Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about now. It's all about taking back control, breaking that cycle by fundamentally redefining where our worth actually comes from.
The biggest, most powerful first step is realizing that the entire premise you've been operating on, well, it's flawed. Your worth as a human being is inherent. It's not, and was never meant to be, a direct result of your daily output, your job title, or how many things you manage to cross off a list.
This means we need a crucial mental shift. Rest isn't a prize you get for being productive. It's not a luxury. It is a fundamental, non-negotiable necessity for a healthy mind and body, just like air or food or water. You don't earn a glass of water after a productive day. You drink it because you need it. Rest is exactly the same.
So I want to leave you with this final, powerful question to just think about. What if you stopped trying to earn your worth and simply accepted it as a given? What if your value was never conditional in the first place? Now that's a thought worth resting on.